Hey, good morning, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Now we've got everybody here. The whole gang is here. How's everybody doing? It's Sunday morning. It's a beautiful Sunday here in Orlando, Florida, as you can see behind me. I hope you're having an amazing day where you are. If you're new to the channel, I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor. As always, joined with my wife, Rebecca, who's sitting right off camera. We're going to spend about the next hour or so talking about all things cruising. If you've got questions about cruises, cruise lines, anything to do with cruising, just jump in and ask us. We'll do our best. I can't even talk. I'm still trying to wait. It was 9:30 last week. Now it's 10:30, trying to figure it all out. Did you all figure it out? I love that Sue mentioned the car. Now we all got to go get the user manual for our cars and figure out how to change the clock on the car. I think mine changes automatically. I think my Subaru actually will update it automatically. So yay for that. But how's everybody doing? If you're new to the channel, I invite you to like, subscribe, share, do all the wonderful things that all of the social platforms like you to do. And without further ado, let's see. So Sue's here, John's here, Eric. Hey, Eric, how you doing? Joyce is here, Becky. John is getting ready to open the pool. Yes. Let's all go to John's house up in New York. We're going to be doing the polar plunge. So, Michael, Kurt, David, oh my goodness, Kathy, Benny, Rick, a whole bunch of folks are here. We got a whole bunch of folks on TikTok coming in. My goodness, Cheryl and everybody else. Wow. Already got a question here. What do I think about the cruises that you are about to lease for a year? I haven't, I guess, are you talking about the residential cruises? Because the ones that I've seen are 3-year minimum. So I've not seen anything about leasing for 1 year yet. I've only seen the 3-year minimum, which is I can't even remember the name of that cruise ship. Yeah, the one that had all the problems launching. But I don't know anything about I don't know anything about the year. I mean, if you want to lease a residential ship and you're going to live on a cruise ship, certainly got to look at the terms and conditions of the contract. I know that the ship I'm thinking of, the La Vie something, they already know that within 15 years they're gonna change the ship, and you need to look at, well, what happens when they change that ship. So yeah, I would just say, just like anything else with the with cruising, you look very carefully at those terms and conditions of the contract. You know, what happens if the ship breaks down? What happens if the ship can't go anymore? What happens to all your investment? It's not really something that we've looked into. I'll be honest. If I was going to live on a cruise ship, I would probably book a bunch of cruises, kind of like what Super Mario does on Royal Caribbean, and then jump around ship to ship from time to time. I would spend like a month on one ship and a month on another ship. That would be me. Yeah. Oh, it's Villa V. Thank you very much, John. It is Villa V. He said that they do have a multi-year thing. Oh, Eric's in there too. Thank you guys for bringing that in. So yeah, I would just say, look very carefully at terms and conditions. I would also look to see, do they give you a chance to go on the ship for like a week or a couple of weeks just to try it out before you actually buy in? I would certainly do that, because that is a very small ship. Which in a way is really good, because that allows her to go to ports that maybe you can't get to with the bigger ships. So certainly if I was going to invest that much money, I would want to go on that ship for at least a week and see what it's all about before I did. A great question though. Yeah, it would be pretty cool to live on a ship. If it was me, I'd be living on an Explorer Journey ship right now, because I love those ships so much. But yeah, if you end up doing that, certainly I would love to hear back what your thoughts are if you had a chance to go on the ship and check it out. There are a lot of advantages to living on a ship. Certainly in a lot of ways it is lower cost than living on land, because like so much is included on there. So yeah. David, thank you. Oh, hey, let's see, David, thank you so much. Oh gosh, we got multiple people in here congratulating us. Thank you. If you didn't see the recent TikToks and videos that we did, we were recently honored with 2 travel awards by our host agency, KHM Travel Group. We were given Rising Star Agent of the Year Award and also Virgin Voyages Agent of the Year Award at the recent event that were last week. It was amazing to get together with hundreds of my fellow colleagues and over 100 of our travel suppliers all in the same building. It was so awesome to get to spend time with those folks and to get more knowledge to bring to you guys. So Gayla, is it true that Royal Caribbean is getting rid of 7-day cruises and going 3-day cruises only? No, I have no idea who told you that. Not even remotely close. That's like not even close to being accurate. What Royal Caribbean did do was their newest ship, the Utopia of the Seas, they launched her as a 3 and a 4 night. And their idea was to create a brand new ship for the ultimate weekend, as they call it. And it is the ultimate cruise sample, if you will. So no, absolutely not. They're not going to.
But they are doing more of the 3 and 4 night cruises on their larger ships.
That they are doing, but if you look at where their ships are all over the world, they can't possibly do 3-night cruises everywhere. It just won't work. So no, that is absolutely false, 100%. Thoughts on the Norwegian Dawn? So I have not actually sailed on the Dawn yet, or any of that class. I can tell you that we've sent clients out on the Gem, the Jewel, the Jade, and we're going to be on the Norwegian Jewel in April of 26. So it's a smaller ship. Obviously, it is a little bit of an older ship, but Norwegian has gone in, and I believe every ship in that class, every ship in that size has gotten an upgrade. Some more so than others, but they have all gone in for a refurbishment. I'd have to look up and see what the dates are on that specific ship. So the thing about the smaller Norwegian ships, they will certainly have less children on them because they don't have all of the top deck activities that come with the breakaway class and up. So the breakaway class and up are the ones that are going to have like all that stuff up top. I don't even think the Dawn has a water slide, like a single water slide. It might. So there will be fewer children. It will be more of an adult experience. And the nice thing about those smaller ships, they tend to do itineraries that the bigger ones just can't or won't do. Especially like I've got a client taking, I think it's the Jade, from Tampa all the way to Alaska. What a great itinerary that one is. Oh man, I want to say it's like 27 days. Absolutely fabulous. So yeah, the Dawn is a great ship. So long as you understand what you're getting, you're still going to get that great Norwegian experience. You've still got good specialty restaurants on there. It'll just be a little bit more of an adult experience than it would be on, and probably a little bit more laid back of an experience than it would be on the bigger ships. That's all.
I don't know that I would recommend it if you have teenagers.
Yeah.
If you're traveling with teenagers, unless they're a very specific kind of teenager, they'll be bored to tears.
Maybe. I mean, you don't know. I don't know what the teen clubs are like. I mean, it's certainly not all the stuff with the breakaway. If they like to have a lot of activities, yeah, they may not like it as much. And we actually had that situation where somebody reached out to us and said, "Oh yeah, I took my kids on a Norwegian ship. They didn't like it." And it was one of those smaller ships. They were expecting the ropes courses and the slides and all that. They didn't realize. And that's one of the things that a lot of cruise lines do that some of you may not realize. You just go to the website and say, what kind of activities do you have on your ships? They will show you every activity that's available on every class of ship, not necessarily showing you. So when you go to look at that specific ship, then you got to go look at the activities on that specific ship to make sure that, if I want the bumper cars, they're on this. Well, I can tell you the bumper cars are only on the Quantum class and they're only on the World America. So you've got to get, the right ship. So that is something. Oh, thank you guys. More thanks for the award. I really appreciate, the awards only come because y'all are just so amazing and you have allowed us to be your travel partner for so many of you. I mean, we're just like beyond honored that y'all allow us to be your travel partner. And I think it's important for those of you who haven't worked with us to understand that I do use that word travel partner. We're not the travel agent that says, these are the way you must do your thing, and it can only be done this way. We truly like to partner up. And I actually, I really enjoy it when we do have some clients who they have their spreadsheets, they plan things to the 10th degree. And then we just work with you. We're just a partner with you. We're not going to take over and do all of that. So I think it's a lot of fun. And we're also very honest. We give you honest opinions about the ships, about the cruise lines, about, what you're getting yourself into, because I believe in long-term relationships. And, if I can help you get on the right ship the first time, then that's what we're going to do. And we try to get you on the right ship, or sometimes not even a ship. We've had some clients talk to us like they wanted to do certain things in Italy and you just can't do them if you're on a ship. So, so sometimes it's a land tour. We've got to get you on a land tour instead of a cruise ship. So, yeah, Gayla, that is not true. Luann, you've never cruised before. Do I recommend a land and sea cruise for Alaska? If it's your very first time going to Alaska, then yes, I would say if you can do it. The first time we went to Alaska, we did 7 days on land, 7 days on sea. This was Princess. And I wholeheartedly recommend Princess, number one, for land and sea tours, Holland America, number two, for land and sea tours. I think they just do it. They've been doing it the longest. They do it the best. They have all the best berthing spots. They have the best lodges. They have the best everything, or at least the best location
Most
of the
passes
lodges.
to Glacier Bay.
Yeah. So they get into Glacier Bay. So if you're going for your very first time, I would say at least 4 days on land, because land is a little bit more movement flying around than it is just relaxing on a ship. And try to do the land first, because the land, again, is a lot more movement. And then once you get on the ship, you just unpack and you're ready to go. But I highly recommend a land and sea in Alaska first. I mean, if you want to reach out, our services are 100% free to you. I don't know how many Princess is our number 2 supplier. We have booked a ton of folks up in Alaska. So, and we're going to Alaska in June. We're actually doing Oceania. It's going to be our second time up there. So we wanted to try a different experience. We're doing Oceania for 12 nights. And that's why we did it. We were considering a land sea tour again, but when we saw that there was 12 nights and it was going to hit all the ports that we really wanted to go to and more, we decided, well, let's do Oceania. We'll do a different experience. Only 1,200 people on the ship. So, so we're going to be doing that in June. But yeah, if we can help you in any way, definitely land and sea would definitely be the way to go. Cheryl was on the Jewel for Alaska and wasn't a fan of the layout in the atrium. It's just the style of that ship. The Jewel of the Seas is a fabulous. You were on the Norwegian Jewel, I think is what you're saying. Sometimes the internal layout, but hopefully you had a good time on up in Alaska, because Alaska is absolutely amazing. So,
to be honest, I haven't been a fan of. Well, we've only been on the Getaway and the Escape, and I'm not a huge fan of their atriums in general. They have so many choke points.
Yeah, their atrium tend to have a lot of choke points, even on the big ships. So I always find that their atrium, and like if you're trying to watch the shows and everything, it's like there's no room between the bar and getting the seats and all. So we usually tend to be up on the second floor. But we'll be on the Jewel. We'll be on the Jewel in April, so we'll be able to talk more about that. Nurse Tara. She has said that Royal Caribbean is moving the Vision of the Seas and leaving Baltimore. Yeah, if you have not seen the news lately, Royal Caribbean released their latest deployments all the way through 2026 into 2027. Baltimore is noticeably absent after October of 2026. They're going to take the Vision of the Seas and relocate her down. Now, I'm expecting that to be a somewhat short-term pain, because the new bridge is going to be 43 feet taller. I don't know if the next class of ship can fit underneath there. I mean, that's always been the problem with Baltimore, and anytime you have a port with a bridge, you can only bring in the ship that will fit underneath the bridge. So will that 43 feet of extra space now allow, like, say, a Jewel of the Seas or whatever that next class is? I think it's the Radiance class is the next class coming up. So maybe they're just, they're going to pull that ship out, reposition it, and who knows, maybe the next set of itineraries, maybe for winter of 2027, they'll come back with a different ship or a slightly larger ship. Now, you still do have the Carnival Pride there. I mean, the Carnival Pride is a Spirit class ship. That's a great size ship too. You still have that. Maybe with the taller bridge, maybe Norwegian will come in now. Margaritaville could come up there. MSC could come in with one of their smaller ships. So maybe, I'm sure they did some studies with that bridge, and I'm sure that 43 feet was not just a random number that they pulled out. I'm sure they looked at some of the ships that they could potentially bring in if they just raised it up to a certain height without going up, super high. So who knows? Maybe Baltimore will be getting some slightly larger ships. You never know. So thank you guys. Oh man, you guys are just so kind. Thank you for all the well wishes on the awards. Thank you. And it's all because of you guys, thank you for trusting us with your travel. Truck, you're going to be on the Norwegian Encore in May on the Alaska cruise. You can't wait. We're actually going to be on the Encore next March.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that cruise.
Oh yeah, it's not even in there. Next March, we're going to be, next February. So this is crazy. Yeah, next February, we're going to be on the Norwegian Encore. The same event that we just attended last week. It's going to be on the Encore next year. And the crazy thing is, we're going to be on the Emerald Princess February 4th through the 20th doing a Hawaii cruise. Then on the 21st, we're going to get on the Encore. So we're literally going to fly from LA to Miami, and then the very next day get on the Encore. So that's going to be kind of a nutty time. Plus, we've got the Disneyland before the cruise. So it's going to be another one of those where we're going to be gone for a month. We're going to be gone for a month on 2 cruises in Disneyland.
Yeah. I'm very glad that Princess has self-serve laundry facilities. So we'll have all those sea days to get some laundry done before our next cruise.
Yeah. Silver Librarian, you absolutely love the Vision of the Seas. What is their itinerary from Baltimore? They have multiple itineraries from Baltimore, some short ones, some long ones. So yeah, definitely take a look. They're going to be there until October of 2026. And I think predominantly it's like 5s and 7s, but they do have some 12s, I think some 12s and 14s that go deep into the Southern Caribbean. It's a great port because, it's halfway between, New York, New Jersey, and then coming down this way. And especially since Norfolk, Virginia is gone. So yeah, definitely check it out. So what is the new policy? Oh, MSC loves the Florida port. They do, but they're also in New York, and they're also building in Galveston. And do not be surprised if they announce Los Angeles at some point in the near future. MSC should be the largest cruise line in terms of ships very, very shortly because they had built so many ships of late, and they're just continuing to build. So yeah, do not be surprised if you see MSC coming out to LA soon. So what is the new policy for Virgin Voyages, My Next Virgin Voyage? And again, if you're just tuning in and you're trying to ask a question about Virgin Voyages, on TikTok, you cannot use the word Virgin. Use VV to ask a question about Virgin Voyage. That's not me, it's TikTok. So, but what's the new policy for the Virgin Voyages, My Next Virgin Voyage? I heard that the value was reduced to much less than the last one. So I don't know that they've made any changes yet. For those who don't know, the My Next Virgin Voyage is like that next cruise, future cruise certificate that you purchase on the ship. You used to pay $300. Now we pay $150 per certificate. And the amount of onboard credit that you get per cruise depends on the length of the cruise. And the amount of the savings that you're going to get on the future cruise depends on the length of the cruise. So there's like a shorter cruise, like a 7-night cruise, and then anything over 7 nights or anything over 9 nights or something like that. That's the same policy that came out, a few months ago, I think. I can't even remember. Oh, it came out right after we got off the ship because we had just purchased them for $300 like in January, and then it went to $150. So yeah, so the policy, to my knowledge, hasn't changed since January, but it is different. You don't get the $300 off. You don't get the $600 onboard credit like you used to. I think the maximum savings is now $250 off the cruise. Yeah. How are the Holland America cruises? Holland America is a great cruise line. The ships are absolutely beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, and the service is top notch. So, do they skew older? Because that's the perception of them. They tend to skew a little bit older because a lot of their cruises are longer than 7 nights, and so that's one of the reasons why they do tend to skew a little bit older. We have heard, now we have not been back on. We've been looking at a couple of cruises possibly at the end of this year, that the food has really been stepped up since the restart. When we were on it, the main dining room and the buffet were okay. They were okay. The
buffet was really good.
Oh, no, that's right. The buffet was good. The main dining room was okay.
I was, at the time I was eating vegetarian, and I had good meals in the main dining room.
Yeah.
He didn't.
No, I didn't. So, but we have heard that the main dining room's got much better in Holland America, and their specialty dining has always been on point. What they really leaned into now is live music at night. I think that's amazing. They've got the B.B. King Blues Club. They don't have the Lincoln Center, but they still have classical music, just not with that name. And then they have the Billboard room, which I think is like the dueling pianos kind of a thing. So they really leaned into live music venues at night across their fleet. Now, the smallest of the ships don't have everything, but your bigger ships, your New Amsterdam, New Rotterdam, I think Westerdam, a lot of damn ships over there. But Holland America is a very good cruise line. They tend to be higher priced than their sister Princess. I think Princess and Holland are very, very similar. And for whatever reason, they seem to be higher priced than Princess. And while they do have the Have It All package, it doesn't compare to the Princess Plus. Even the Have It All Plus package gets closer, but it's still not quite the same as the Princess Plus. So good cruise line. Certainly, it should be something that you might want to try. And when we present Princess, very often we do present Holland America as an alternative to them as well. So yeah, no, really, really good question. Thank you guys. See, streams are an hour earlier for you. Yeah, I do not like the whole daylight savings time, the whatever the other time is. I just set the clocks and leave them. That's all I want to do now. Just set the clocks and leave them. In fact, TikTok was very confused. I was trying to set up the stream for 10:30 and I kept trying to do it at 11:30. So, oh well. Dave, you're on your 7th Virgin Voyages cruise, April 6th, the Valiant Lady. Nice. We will be going on, I believe, 8 and 9 this year. We're going to be on the Brilliant Lady twice. September 10th out of New York City. We'll be doing, we're working with a corporate group that's going to be doing a big user conference on that sailing. And then we'll be on again October 3rd, taking the ship from Quebec all the way down to Miami. So we'll be doing that ship twice in a month. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you. Thank you, Sue and Phil. I appreciate it. God, everybody, y'all are so nice. Thank you so much. One of the things that I wanted, well, actually, I don't know how many cruises y'all have booked right now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
We forgot
and 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, we forgot one. We got the Encore.
Well,
So.
then did you get the other Virgin, both Virgins?
Yeah, I got both
Okay.
Virgins. Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
yeah.
6, 7, 8. We got 9 cruises on the books. Is that crazy? That is absolutely crazy. I don't know how many cruises do you all have currently booked right now? I would love to know. I'll answer your question about Scarlet Lady in a second. Let's see. May 31st, we're on the Norwegian Aqua. June 26th, we're on the Oceania Riviera. August 31st, we're on the first inaugural sailing of the Royal Caribbean Star of the Seas. That's the inaugural 7-night, not the previews cruises. September 10th, we're on the Brilliant Lady out of New York. October 3rd, we're on the Brilliant Lady out of Quebec. February 4th, we're on the Emerald Princess going to Hawaii out of Los Angeles. On February 21st, we're on the Norwegian Encore out of Miami, joining all of our KHM colleagues for the Crystal Conference again. Then April 16th, we're in Philadelphia on the Norwegian Jewel. October 23rd of 2026, we're going to be in the Mediterranean sailing on the Celebrity Constellation. That's a 10-night from Ravenna around to Rome, and then we'll be on the 15-night transatlantic crossing to San Juan. But we got a lot going on. Okay, so folks have, I see 3 booked, 4. I'm going to get back to the questions in just a second. Wow. Sue and Phil have 9. 1, 4, 4, 4, 2. Oh, Jen doesn't have any. We got to fix that, Jen. 3. Kathy wants to go on the Philadelphia cruise. 4, 4, 3, 4. We've got 5, 3 over here. All right. So awesome. All right, guys. That is awesome. And Corey only has 1. Dennis doesn't have any. Oh, my goodness. Dennis, you have 1 book, don't you? You got at least 1 booked right now, I think, right? It's on Virgin Voyages, I do believe. Eric just picked out 2 more. Yes, call me, Eric. What is my opinion of the Scarlet Lady? Scarlet Lady's fabulous. So she is the OG. She's the original lady ship from Virgin Voyages, and she's the first one that has gone back into dry dock for what they call a glam up. It wasn't a refurbishment. It was a glam up. And they added some new features to her, including turning Razzle Dazzle into Lucky Lotus at night, which is their first Asian-themed restaurant. The cool thing about Virgin Voyages is that
It's not their first Asian-themed restaurant. They have Gunbei.
Well, yeah, okay, that's a Korean barbecue. All right, you're right. So this is the first Asian sit-down restaurant, and with dishes inspired by China, and I believe Japan. I think they may have. I don't know if they have Japanese dishes in there as well, but I know it's inspired by China. But Virgin Voyages as a whole is a very laid-back, chill, relaxed experience. You have no children running around. There's no concerns about, we got to wait until 10:30 to do the adult shows. So It's a very laid back chill. Of course, all of your meals are included. Wi-Fi, gratuity, soft drinks are all included. The ship itself is stunning. The shows are very different. I really appreciate the shows on there, and they're not for everybody. Like we don't enjoy every single show over there, but they're different. The music is outstanding throughout the ship. I think the food is some of the best food for mainstream cruising. I do have if you go over on my YouTube channel, I have a whole 45-minute food tour of that particular ship. So yeah, it is really, really good.
While it's a bit older, is still mostly accurate. I mean, there's not the Lucky Lotus.
She's talking about my food tour. It's
yes.
a little bit older. The ship's only 5 years old.
No, yeah. I'm not talking about, yes, the food tour. So it's before Lucky Lotus.
Yeah, exactly. So have we done the Boston to Canada cruise? We've not done Boston to Canada, but Tony and Jenny B, I'll go ahead and flip it up on the screen for those of you watching on YouTube. Tony and Jenny B have a round trip New York cruise going on the Enchanted Princess. We have booked clients who have done it. In fact, most of the clients that have gone out of Boston that we have personally booked have ended in Quebec. So they've done kind of that one way, because you get to go a little bit further and then you get to go all the way up to Quebec versus trying to do the round trip coming back to Boston. But most of ours have been the one way. We have not actually sailed it yet, but we have booked a few of them. But Tony and Jenny B, if you're interested in going in October of this year and you're interested in sailing out of New York City, they're going to be on the Enchanted Princess. Now that is New York, Newport, Boston, Portland, St. John's, and Halifax on the Emerald Princess, which is a stunning Royal class ship. So it's not Boston, but they are coming out of New York City. So yeah, but Boston's beautiful. We're going to be stopping. Are we stopping in Boston? Yeah, we're stopping in Boston on our Brilliant Lady cruise. So, and I'll just go ahead and keep flipping through some of the, we've got a bunch of group cruises happening right now. And so we've got the Mediterranean, we've got Bermuda, we've got Hawaii, we've got Alaska, and of course, a little bit of the Caribbean as well. So we've got so many group cruises going on right now that are booking. You can simply go to our website, where'swaltertravel.com, and click on group travel, and you can see all of the groups. So they added a bar in the wake on Scarlet Lady. Yeah, they added a bar there, and they also added a bar up at Grounds Club 2, which is up on deck 15 in the buffet. I'm really excited to go see that at some point when we get back on Scarlet. I don't know when we'll get back on Scarlet, but at some point. So yeah. Next up, Alaska in May on Quantum of the Seas. I really want to get on that Quantum class. I've never been on the Quantum class. Really want to get on there. It looks like a lot of fun. So, yeah, Databetics said, just realized they didn't consider Korean barbecue an Asian restaurant when categorizing in my head. yeah. To me, like Korean barbecue is like its own thing, right? Yeah, but it is
Korea
Asian.
Is still Asia.
It's part of Asia, right? So yeah, I just never think about it that way. So
well, even like technically India is part of Asia.
Yeah.
So, and I will admit, I don't always think of Indian food as Asian food, but technically.
Yeah, technically, if you want to get technical about it, yes, absolutely, it is. John's asking about the Constellation group. Right now, it's a small group. We don't expect it to get very large. I mean, it is in the Mediterranean. It is a long flight to get over there, so we're not sure. We'll see. But yeah, if anybody would like to join us, it's gonna be a beautiful cruise. You know, we looked at multiple cruise lines, because the Mediterranean next to Hawaii, so Hawaii was the top requested cruise, and then the Mediterranean was right behind it. When looking at it, we were going for that combination of, affordability, because we did look at some of like the really high-end luxury cruise lines as well. And then the port stops. Like, we really came close to choosing an Azamara cruise because it happened to be stopping literally right where my family is from in Italy. So we almost chose that one, but the timing just wasn't quite right, and the price was certainly a lot higher. So we kind of wanted to walk that thread, and we have booked quite a few celebrity cruises over in the Mediterranean. So we're like, you know what, let's just go with celebrity. It's a good in between. And then when Rebecca found this itinerary, this wonderful 10-night itinerary that starts in Ravenna, which is Venice, and we're going to go into Croatia. We're going to come around Italy and end up in Civitavecchia. She found an itinerary that I think was either late September, early October, And I noticed that there was a second date, which was late October. And I said, man, that's really late in the season. I bet she's going to be doing her crossing shortly thereafter. And sure enough, the very next cruise is the 15-day crossing over to San Juan. So we're going to stay on the ship all 25 days. We're going to do the 10-day Mediterranean, and then we're going to do the 15-day crossing because we also have 4 stops in Spain on the way across. So, yeah, so we're going to do the whole thing. And I think we've got at least one other client who's going to do the whole 25 days with us. So that's going to be amazing. Amazing. Alex is saying that Virgin stepped up their entertainment. They definitely have stepped up their entertainment, and they have some different shows in now, which makes me very, very excited. Excuse me. But one of the things that we really loved when we were on Resilient Lady for our 2-night conference, they had a show called The Mind Mangler, which is brought to you by the people that do the Goes Wrong show, which is one of our favorite things in the world. They always do a Broadway show where literally everything goes wrong. And that was exactly the premise of this, where he was like everything was going wrong for him on stage. And it was absolutely hilarious. It was different than anything they'd ever done before. But what was kind of the neat twist at the end was at the end, he actually did a rather spectacular trick that was built up through the entire show. And it's like, wait, that was actually pretty good. So, yeah. So thank you, David. As John says, yeah, the price for the Mediterranean group cruise is actually rather spectacular. In fact, if you did the entire 25 days without the package, I mean, you can get on the ship for somewhere between $6,000 and $7,000 for a full 25 days at sea. But the group rate on that one happened to be with the package. So that's how Celebrity's doing it now. They're not giving us group rates on the standard cruise fare only. They're giving us a group fare on the package. So you can save up to $200 to $400 per person on that all-included package, which is the basic drinks and the Wi-Fi. So that's what they're doing there. I'm just going to keep flipping through the cruises on the YouTube channel. But again, if you want to sail with us on a group cruise, we've got Venice to Rome, which is October 23rd, 2026. I've got Quebec to Miami on the Brilliant Lady. That's going to be October 3rd through the 16th of 2025. We got the Lido Loca Norwegian Jewel. That's going to be April 16th through the 23rd from Philadelphia, 2026. We've got the Lido Loca Canada New England cruise on the Enchanted Princess, October 11th through the 18th, 2025. I'm going through these kind of quick. Where's WalterTravel.com group travel? Just go there. You will literally see them all listed.
Hawaii.
Yes, that's coming up. Oceania Riviera, June 26th through July 8th of 2025. That's going to be Alaska. February 4th through the 20th, 2026 is going to be Hawaii on the Emerald Princess. And then we're going on a Norwegian Aqua, but we're not really promoting that much anymore because all of our group space is gone. So there you go. How about that? Phil and Sue are going to be on that Oceania in Croatia before us in 26. They'll let us know the highlights. That's right. We've got you on that. I mean, Oceania was definitely something that we were looking at, and we've got a lot of folks who want to go on Oceania. It just, the timing wasn't quite right. If it had been later in the year, we probably would have gone with that one, but I think it was like in July. And just with everything else we've got going on, we couldn't set up the group in July, August. So
it wasn't July.
What was it?
September.
Oh, it was September. And why didn't we choose? Oh, I remember why. Yeah, we just couldn't make it. Couldn't make it work. So anyway, that's that. That's everything. I know I ran through that kind of quick. So if you're just tuning in, folks, I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor. We're spending the next hour answering your questions about all things cruising. So anything you want to know about cruising, just drop them in there. We'll do our very, very best to answer. We book cruise, land, luxury, and expedition. And as always, my lovely wife is sitting right off camera. You can find us at where'swaltertravel.com. Mike wants to know what's the best way to set up a call with us. You're watching on TikTok, so there are links in my description. One of them will be contact us, and or just go to where'swaltertravel.com and click on contact us, and my calendar will show up. Just go ahead and set up a meeting, and that's the way it works. I'll give you a call. We talk, and then we do some research to find you some options. Like we talked to a lovely couple yesterday. They want to do their wedding anniversary, and they said they got so deep. They were like, "Oh God, we were looking at like 16 cruises, and we were just getting ourselves all confused, and we weren't really sure what to do." So they gave us a call last week. We did some research. We presented 4 cruises to them. Said, "Here you go. Here's what we think are the best for what you want to do." I just got the email this morning, and we're going to book them on a Princess cruise later today. So that's how it works. And again, there's absolutely no charge for our services. Our services are 100% free to you. And I think one of the biggest things that we bring to you, because people are like, well, why should I book with a travel agent? I think one of the biggest things that we bring to you, besides the knowledge, is the connections to the cruise industry and to the travel industry that we have. We have direct connections with all of our travel partners that you simply don't have. You have to call that 1-800 call center and hope that you get somebody good on the phone, and hope that if they transfer you to a supervisor, that supervisor knows what they're talking about, and hope that you've got the time to stay on the phone for as long as that phone call is going to take. So we have direct connections with all of our travel partners. And because I'm with KHM Travel Group, which is based out of Cleveland, Ohio, we have amazing representatives that work with it. I used to work with another host agency when I first started out. I can tell you there is a huge difference between the people that I work with now and the people that I started out working with in the past. And it's just absolutely amazing what we get to do. And I think that's the biggest advantage to having a travel advisor. It's just the fact that we can bring you those direct connections. So yeah, that's what's going on.
Basically, because the commissions for travel advisors are built in to the cost of cruises, if you don't use a travel advisor, you're just, giving extra money to the cruise line.
You are. And, we have access, like, especially we're starting to see it more and more where we're part of a big consortium that grabs group space on a lot of cruises. We're starting to see that show up a lot more now on Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, especially, and on Norwegian, we seem to be getting more and more offers where we have free included gratuities. So that's another thing that, the cruise lines don't have access to those things because the consortium had paid for it. So that's the other big thing. And we look for that whenever we're looking at a cruise, we'll see if we can find a group space on a specific type of a stateroom. It's not on the whole ship. It'll just be on a specific type of stateroom, but we do look for that as well. So good morning, everybody. Eric wants to know, can you use Princess Ocean now to order cocktails to your cabin?
I believe so.
I don't know why not, because that's the whole point of Ocean Now. For those who don't know, Princess uses the medallions. So instead of a key card, instead of a key card, Princess uses a wearable. So you can wear it as a watch. It's the size of an Apple AirTag. You can wear it as a watch. Some people wear it as a necklace. Some people clip it to their pants. But when you order a drink or food via the app, because you're wearing this RFID device, they can deliver to you anywhere on the ship. So Eric, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to, and Becky's confirming, yes, you can order it. Now, here's the thing about Ocean Now. It's not 100% perfect. It's probably about 75% accurate. So I've had it where I've ordered drinks, I've ordered food. It seems like the food is better than the drinks for whatever reason. I have really good success ordering food through the app, but the drinks can be hit or miss, whether they actually show up. So, yeah, who knows? Nene wants to know, when do I think the cruise lines will release their 2028 itineraries, when they're ready?
Well, they still not.
We haven't gotten all of 2027 yet for most of them. Generally, you'll see the high-end luxury lines are going to release them first because they have much fewer ships. A lot of things are changing. A lot of things are changing in terms of port access, in terms of, especially over in Europe, certain cities are saying you can't come in anymore. You've got to have, alternative places to go. Alaska has been saying, hey, enough is enough. Certain ports are saying we can't have that many ships. So things are changing. Plus, we have new private destinations from the cruise lines that are coming. So I don't think, we just got a lot of 2027 from Royal Caribbean today. And that's unusual. Back in the day, they didn't announce quite that far out. It was like a year out. Now we're getting that 2-year mark. So, You may start to see some in 2028 for the mainstream cruise line by the end of this year. I would not expect any sooner. Probably more into 2026 we'll start to see them show up. But again, the very, very high-end, luxury lines like your Regents, your Silver Seas, and things like that, I think they may even have like a 2028 World Cruise up right now. But that would be the only thing that you would see.
I don't think so.
No, I think it's still just 2027. But they're going to be the first one. They always lead. They always lead that.
I find that the first line that tends to come out with itineraries is Viking for some reason. They tend to have the furthest out. Yeah,
Viking is always way out there. Yeah. Darren wants to know, this is a great question. What's my opinion on the Oceania Riviera's current food quality and if it is self-serve now? So we're going to be on the Riviera in June. So I can answer that question definitively in June. I can tell you that when we were on the Oceania Serena last year, the food blew us away. The food was absolutely amazing. And I had heard, we had heard through we had read through the boards and whatnot, oh, the food quality's going down. Oh, the food quality's going down. I don't know. It blew us away. It was absolutely outstanding. And we will be on the Riviera June 26th through July 8th up in Alaska. So I'll be able to tell you definitively then. And yes, we have heard that all the buffets have gone self-serve now versus being served, which is how they were. That is a little disappointing. I do like the served. Buffet. Like it was great on the Norwegian on the Explorer Journeys. It was great on Explorer 2. It was great on the Azamara Journey. I do like having that served buffet. Oh, that's right. No, it was not a served buffet. It was a self-serve. There were certain elements of it. Right. So we did it on the Azamara Journey. It wasn't that big of a deal because, of course, you got a lot less people. But, I do like the served buffets. That was really nice on the Explorer 2. I really wish all buffets, all of those were Virgin Voyages runs it food hall style. So I really wish everybody would run it food hall style. So that certainly drops the chances for norovirus or things spreading just because there's not quite so many people handling everything. But yeah, they did go to self-serve. I'm sure there's a lot of complaints from people who have been doing Oceania for a long time. But for those coming over from other cruise lines, we're just kind of used to it. So yeah.
And I have heard that at night in the buffet, they no longer have lobster every night. It's only certain nights.
Yeah, that was one of the big things. In fact, I said it in some of my videos, like, oh my God, every single night there's lobster, steak, lamb chop, and all that are made to order in the buffet. But now they don't do it every night. It's just specific nights. Which
but they still have other things made. Like I believe they still have everything else. The shrimp, the fish, the lamb chops, and the steak. It's just lobsters, not every night.
Yeah. So they have gone self-serve. I mean, it's a little disappointing, but it is what it is. And is it going to stop us from cruising Oceania? No, it definitely won't.
We are certainly excited because on the Serena, they only had 2 specialty restaurants.
Yeah.
And on the Riviera, they have 4.
Right.
And so we're excited about that. And those are all included in your cruise fare.
Yes, they are. So yeah.
I think next month we can make our reservations.
Hey, we're getting close to making our reservations for dinner. I know. We're so excited. We'll tell everybody in the group after we make our reservations so we get first shot. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
just kidding. We'll let you all know.
When you can make your reservations does depend on what type of cabin you have.
Exactly. And also if you have status on the thing. I think status helps you too or something, doesn't it? I thought it did. I thought it allowed you to get in early, but you're welcome, Darren. Yeah, maybe we'll see you on board. We've got a group of about 32, I think, going on that Alaska cruise. So that's going to be a fun one. That's going to be a really fun one. And we've got our own private boat for whale watching in Juneau. So I'm really looking forward to that. If you're going to Alaska, folks, and you haven't not heard me mention the name Harv and Marv, that is your whale watching excursion you want to take in Juneau, Alaska. You don't want to take anybody else's whale watching excursion in Juneau. They are amazing. You will book them independently. You will not book them through the cruise line. Just look up Harv and Marv whale watching in Alaska. You will not be disappointed. Not be disappointed. Rick liked the served buffet on the Sun Princess. That was interesting. If they can do it on a ship that big, certainly. Everybody else should be able to do it. If Virgin Voyages can do it on all 4 ships, certainly. Speaking of Virgin Voyages, Brilliant Lady is supposed to announce her dining venues, I think in 2 weeks, within the next 2 weeks. So I don't know if they're, we expect that Razzle Dazzle will be something different, but I'm curious to see, will they change one of the other 5 into something else? Who knows? That'll be very interesting to find out. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. Really excited about that. Speaking of Virgin Voyages, somebody else is trying an adults only sailing. Now, it's a line that a lot of you may not know. It's called Mein Schiff. If you've been in the Caribbean, especially in the winter time, you'll probably see one of these Mein Schiff ships in there. They look somewhat like a celebrity ship when you first see them with the blue and all of that. But it's a German cruise line owned by TUI, T-U-I. And they're going to do their first ever adults only sailing in November of this year. It's going to be a 25-day sailing or something like that from November to December from Cape Town, South Africa to Singapore. So first of all, wow, what an itinerary. But they're trying it. It's not an adults only cruise line or an adults only ship. It's just one sailing. They're going to try it. It's 18 plus only, kind of like Virgin Voyages. But I've been wondering, when are some of the other cruise lines? Like I could totally see Celebrity doing that. Celebrity running an adults only sailing just to try it out. It would be very interesting to see some of the other cruise lines, because obviously there's a market for it. I mean, Virgin Voyages can fill 4 ships or 3 ships right now, and then they'll be able to fill 4 ships very shortly. And so it is very interesting. Is that a sign that maybe they'll take one of their ships and start making it adults only, or start adding adult only? I've said the same thing, even like Carnival. It'd be great to go on the Mardi Gras with just adults, so we can actually go do some of the slides and things like that. They'll never do it, but it would be fun to see. Like I could totally see their Venezia and Firenze, which are different ships anyway, going adults only. That would be an interesting way to do it. Hey, Tammy, you just got back from your Virgin Voyages trip to San Juan, from San Juan. Oh, I'm so glad you guys had a great time. I'm glad you had a great time. That's funny, Diabetic. I love it. I love it. Let's see. Kathy's been on TUI Fly, a budget airline. Yeah. So TUI. The interesting thing about booking cruises in Europe is that they are generally part of a full vacation package. So the flight is included, the hotel is included, and the cruise is included. Like you just buy it as one big package. It's an interesting model. I like it.
Well, I think that's a lot to do with a lot of the rules for selling travel over
in Europe is a lot different. I think you're like a tour operator versus just being a travel agent or something like that. There's so many different rules over there in Europe. Hats off to all my European colleagues. It's just amazing. Databetic said there was a rumor that Disney was thinking about an adult only sailing. I would be shocked if that actually happened. I would be absolutely shocked if that happened.
That would be fun though.
It would be great. And if they were to do it, they'd probably do it on the Magic or the Wonder, the 2 smallest ships. And
probably a time, like certainly not a time of year when the kids are out of school.
Yeah, I'd totally be on it if they did it. Marella Cruises include flights, because that is a European tour operator.
And I don't believe
Americans can't book those cruises. Which is interesting. I did a video about that, and so many people got bent out of shape because the Marella ship was home ported in Port Canaveral, but Americans couldn't book it, and a lot of people got bent out of shape. I'm like, it's a European cruise line. So that's how they work. And
I believe they're kind of more of a budget cruise line.
They're very much a budget cruise line. They basically have old Royal Caribbean ships. That's what most of their ships are. Old Royal Caribbean ship. But they have refurbished them. I have seen my friends Don and Tom. Yeah, Don and Tom. A great channel, by the way, if you're not following them. Just a couple of great Brits, Don and Tom, that have been on TUI. They do Cunard, but I believe they were just on Marella just recently, like for the holidays or something like that. And it looks like they had a great time. I'd like to, if there was a way for me to get on Marella, I'd love to try it. I really want to get on Celestial down in Greece at some point. So I think after we do this cruise in the Med, maybe we'll try to get on Celestial in the future. That's a little family-run Greek cruise line, which looks like a lot of fun. We have sent one set of clients on them so far, but what a fun little cruise line. And they stop at different ports. That's the thing, when you start, Sean, hey, Stephanie, how are you, Steph? I'm getting ready. August 31st. I hope you're ready for Star of the Seas. You talked me into this, so you better bring it. Disney Dream had an adult-only kids club area on the transatlantic, and it was so popular. Kids Club Hour. It was so popular. Oh, so the adults got to go into the kids club. Oh, my God.
Like fun.
That is so much fun. Stephanie is saying that on the Disney Dream during their transatlantic, they allowed adults to play in the kids club for an hour. That's great. So that's one of my biggest tips for y'all. If you're going on a Disney ship, as soon as you get on the ship, go directly to the kids club, because you can get in there during embarkation, but once the ship sets sail and all the kids are signed up for the kids club, you can't get in there. So there are some fabulous, you can take so many great photos in there. I took a bunch of great photos on there. So if you're going on a Disney ship, right after they announce you, go straight to the kids club and get a bunch of pictures. There's so many great picture opportunities in the kids club. So yeah. So yes, Alex is reminding me, Stephanie posted a new video on her channel, bringing everybody up to date. I love it because we were on that sailing together. We were on the Margaritaville Islander, and we were hanging out in the A1A, and she did this lovely little video. So if you want to get caught up on what Steph's got going on, check out her channel, Sean and Steph, on the YouTube channel. And apparently she's got some more stuff coming from the Margaritaville Islander. We had a great time. We were on there for 4 days. It was cold, but we had a great time. And one of the most unique things about that sailing was we, on the last day, the last evening, usually you're going to dock up in Tampa like, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning on the morning of embarkation. But what we noticed on the last night, we were sitting out on the balcony talking. It was about 9:15 or 9 o'clock, and we could see the bridge at St. Pete's. And I was like, is that the bridge? What are we doing here this early? And sure enough, we went under the bridge about 9:30 at night, 9:45 at night, on the final night of the cruise, and we were already in Tampa Bay. Well, it turns out there was a big fog warning, a marine fog warning, and had the ship stayed out, we probably would not have gotten in until like noontime, because there was a big fog warning until 10 a.m. So that was actually one of the coolest things. Was we were ready to go to bed, and it's like, wait a minute, here comes the bridge. So we ran upstairs, froze our butts off, and ran upstairs and watched it go under the bridge at night, which was kind of cool. So yeah, so definitely check out Steph and her latest update. Alex, thanks for reminding me on that. Any thoughts on the Britain travel agency issue, and could that hurt any sailings? I'm not sure exactly what the issue is. I honestly don't know what you're asking. I'm sorry. I don't know of any issues with Britain travel agencies.
They just have different rules that they work
under.
under.
Yeah, they have a lot different rules than we have to work with. It's a lot easier for us to work than it is for the folks over in Britain. I have every so often I get folks from England who will reach out to me to talk about travel, and I just refer them over to a very good friend of mine, Kieran, at Magical Traveler, I think is what his agency is. But yeah, he's over in England, so I just send folks over there. But it is crazy, some of the things he has to do.
And there are quite a few cruise lines that have certain rules that only allow certain, depending on where you live, travel advisors to sell to certain countries.
Right.
So
right. I can basically sell to North America and the Caribbean. So that's where I can sell folks. So Douglas, he loves Disney. It was your first cruise, but you feel like Royal and others have really upped their game. Definitely. I mean, certainly on the newer ships, Royal Caribbean certainly brings a lot of stuff. Carnival has really upped their game with their newer ship. Norwegian has gotten mixed reviews on what they've done with the Prima, but with their new shows that they got coming, they're finally starting to make up for all of the Broadway shows that they.
Oh man, we at the conference we were just at, we saw a little snippet of the Prince show that's going to be on the Aqua.
Oh,
amazing!
We're just we are just so excited for that. Stephanie's saying that the Islander surprised her on so many levels. She had such a great time. I'm telling you. That is absolutely amazing. The Islander for the price, you get a lot. I think you get much more value than what you're paying for. We always say you got to remember, you're paying just so much, and you can't really complain about certain things because you're not paying, like a Royal Caribbean price or a Disney price, but for the value, for what Margaritaville gives you on the ship, it is a tremendous value. And we had 170 people on for Valentine's Day, and very minor issues throughout the cruise. And then Stephanie came on with a group, And yeah, it really is a lot of fun. And those cheeseburgers are righteous. Cheeseburgers are righteous. So no, they're not talking about the, I see you're adding some more information. I can't comment on anything in terms of what's happening with England travel agents and travel advisors. I don't know. I don't know the situation. So, oh, well, yeah. So there is one particular cruise line that has filed for bankruptcy. Absolutely. So, but I don't know anything about what you're saying about the cruise lines removing. Cruise lines will change partners all the time. That's not unusual for a cruise line to say we're no longer going to work with a certain travel agency or a certain travel partner. That's not unusual. That's not going to affect the bookings though, because the bookings were made directly with that cruise line. So those bookings will stay in place, or at least they should. I don't know how it works over in England, but I honestly can't comment about anything else you're saying. So Britain's new visa requirements, so those have kicked in. That's the ETA, which got off to a little rocky start. Because at first you needed an ETA just to transit through. Like if you're just flying into Heathrow and then catching another flight, they wanted you to have an ETA. Well, now they finally said, no, you don't need an ETA for that. But if you are actually going to exit the airport and you're going to go into Great Britain, United Kingdom, then yes, you are going to need that ETA. It's supposed to only take less than 48 hours. You just apply for it online. I have had some clients who have done it. They said easy peasy, no problem. They got it and off they go. So, yeah, in terms of how European travel agents work and who's partnering with them, I have absolutely no idea. I can tell you that we are partnered with, gosh, probably 50 to 100 cruise lines. If we do ocean, expedition and river, we've got a lot of travel partners. So I can only comment on what we can do. So,
and just back to the visa thing, the ETA for, Great Britain is different than the ETIAS,
right?
which will be
really
for
confusing.
Europe.
Yeah.
And that doesn't start till later this year. Like,
yeah, or possibly 26. Now they can't. Now they can't decide what they're doing.
yeah.
But yeah, so because United Kingdom is no longer part of the EU, so the EU has a different and how do you say it? Schengen? Yeah. Schengen countries. Collectively, you're going to need an ETIAS. Yeah.
It's the same idea.
So,
it's all electronic. It doesn't cost that much money.
Exactly.
It's not a big deal. It's not a visa. It's just a visa waiver.
And, I know a lot of Americans were like really upset. Like, I can't believe we're going to have to do this. Well, just so you know, Europeans have been doing this for years. When they came to the U.S., it was all part of like the Department of Homeland Security or one of those agencies put it in place years ago that they have had to apply for an electronic visa waiver to come here. And I think they can be in the States for 60 days or something like that. Because I've got European friends who do that. In fact, Gary Bembridge is like, what's the big deal? When I was talking to Gary's like, we've been doing that for years. It's the same thing. So he said, it's no big deal. You just fill out something online and you're done and you go. So yeah. So, but yeah, SL2, talking about Jetline. So I've heard something about Jetline. I have no idea who they are. I've never interfaced with them. So it does sound like
it may be an issue
happened.
because they sell their cruises as a big package. Maybe that's causing the problems.
Correct. They would have to sell as a big package. Yes. So, are there places to smoke a cigarette on a cruise? On most cruises, yes. There are a few that are completely non-smoking, like Viking. I believe it's like non-smoking on the entire ship. But most cruise lines have dedicated places where you can smoke. And if you smoke outside of those areas, you will be in big trouble. Like one of the biggest no-nos is smoking on your balcony. If you have a balcony cabin, do not smoke on the balcony.
And vaping also counts.
Huh?
Vaping also counts.
Vaping is included in smoking. So, but yeah, they'll have dedicated smoking areas, usually 2 outside. MSC is one of the most smoke-friendly cruise lines. They have more smoking areas than most of the cruise lines I've seen.
A lot of casinos are smoking, smoking. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah, so non-smoking casinos are on Celebrity and Virgin and Margaritaville. Actually, Margaritaville Islander was non-smoking. So, but yeah, you can generally go ahead and find a couple of areas to smoke.
And occasionally the rules for smoking cigars are different than the rules for smoking cigarettes. So you need to check the FAQs of that cruise line.
A couple of cruise lines like Norwegian and Explorer, they have actual cigar lounges, like really nice cigar lounges, and they always have a whiskey bar right next door because they seem to go hand in hand. So you can do it for sure. Let's see. Jen saying she got her ETA within minutes. Utopia had a smaller casino that was designated as non-smoking. That's something that Royal Caribbean is really leaning into right now. So their main casino has always been smoking, but like on some of the Oasis class ships, they've taken what was a jazz club, turned it into a non-smoking casino. On the Icon, they have a section that's non-smoking, but it's over. It's just open. So hey, Becky, how are you? Good to see you. We're going to be seeing you soon in Alaska. Cannot wait. We got about 30 folks going on up there. Can I repeat which cruise will have a Prince tribute? It will be the Norwegian Aqua. It's going to have the Prince tribute. I believe, if I recall, when Tony was in Italy for the Aqua tour, they originally showed it as something that was coming to the Luna. So it's probably coming to the Luna as well, but they recently announced that it will be on the Aqua along with, I can't remember what the other show is, but we're going to be on the Aqua in May, so I cannot wait to see it. So I'm going to run through our groups real quick again. It's the bottom of the hour. I'm going to remind everybody that we are Where's Walter Travel, your independent travel advisors. We do cruise, land, luxury, and expedition. Our services are 100% free to you. We come to you every Sunday morning for about an hour and a half to answer all questions cruising, or as much as we can. But if we can help you in any way, our services are 100% free to you. Where's WalterTravel.com, and we invite you to like, subscribe, share, do all those wonderful things that all of these platforms like you to do. And as a reminder, we're live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and TikTok all at the same time. So we're having a great time chatting with you all. Real quick, and go to where'swaltertravel.com group travel if you want to join any of these. October 23rd through November 2nd, 2026, Italy and Croatia on the Celebrity Constellation, 10 nights. October 3rd through the 16th, 2025, Quebec to Miami on the Virgin Voyages Brilliant Lady, including a stop in Charleston, South Carolina. April 16th through the 23rd, 2026, Tony and Jenny B at Lido Loca are going to take you on the Norwegian Jewel from Philadelphia. First cruise from Philadelphia in decades. You're going to go to Bermuda and Charleston, South Carolina. Tony and Jenny B are also going to Canada and New England this fall, October 11th through the 18th, 2025. You're going to go round trip from New York on the Enchanted Princess. We are going round trip Alaska from Seattle, June 26th through July 8th, 2025. That's going to be 12 nights on a ship that only holds 1,200 people, 8 ports during that time. It's going to be an amazing cruise, June 26th through July 8th on Oceania Riviera. And then we're going to Alaska. We're going to Hawaii. February 4th through the 20th, 2026 on the Emerald Princess. Rebecca and I have an aft balcony because we have 10 sea days that we're going to enjoy sitting back there. Plus, we're going to spend some time in Disneyland before the cruise because it is their 70th anniversary in Disneyland. And that is all of the group cruises that we have right now. I went through that kind of quick. Just go to where'swaltertravel.com, group travel, and you will see the whole list of all the cruises. I think they're all on my homepage as well. So, Becky, you need to schedule a talk about your upcoming cruises. Please do. Reach out anytime and let's talk. I can't wait to finally meet you guys. I can't remember how many cruises we booked for you so far. I can't wait to meet you in June. That's the thing I love about these group cruises, and when we go on some of these inaugurals and things like that, getting to see you all. And definitely walk over. I've had a couple people who wrote to me after the fact and said, hey, I saw you on the ship. I didn't want to bother you. It's like, reach out. Yeah, come on over. Say hello. I love meeting you guys.
I mean, maybe not when we're at dinner, but.
Yeah, just wave at dinner and then come find me. Like, stop by at dinner, say hello, and then we'll figure out a time that we can connect after dinner. How about that? Right?
That works.
We'll do that. That'll work. Yeah. Plus, if you want to see Rebecca, almost the only way. I mean, you do see her in the countdown on YouTube, but that's about it. Oh, thank you, Eric. That's right. So Rumors is the other Aqua show. I think that's the Fleetwood Mac show. So we're going to have Fleetwood Mac and we're going to have Prince
I think
on
that
Aqua.
one's in the poorhouse, though.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it might be in the poorhouse. It may not be.
Sid Norman's
Pour, poorhouse. Yeah, the bar. So yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So thank you, Eric. And we're finally going to meet Eric in May. I can't wait to meet you, Eric. It's so much fun when we finally get to meet you guys. You know, I hope we're not disappointing when you meet us, but it is so much fun to meet you guys, and it is so awesome. All the kind words that you say. So yeah, it is just. We are just so blessed right now and so thankful to all y'all for letting us do what we do. If you weren't here in the very, very beginning, thank you, Gary. Just about to say that. So we got the Rising Star Agent of the Year. So that's an agent that's been with the company less than 2 years at the time. So at the time of the voting and all of that, we were with the company for less than 2 years. So we were Rising Star Agent of the Year, and we were Virgin Voyages Agent of the Year.
I think we're still less than 2 years, because didn't you start in like April or May?
Of that company, yeah. So, and then we were Virgin Voyages Agent of the Year for KHM Travel Group. We're so thankful to have found KHM Travel Group. That is the host agent. Whereas Walter Travel is an independent contractor, we are an independent company. It is Rebecca and I, but we have the support of over 5,200 agents up there. So, yeah. So let's see. Let's do that. Thank you. And thank you, Becky. You are so kind. You are so kind. Let's see. Alex said, what was my favorite part about the conference? So we just did a 4 or 5 night conference here. It was actually here in Orlando, which was kind of cool. So to get this, Hilton, if you're watching, change the names of your hotels in Disney Springs. They have 2 hotels in Disney Springs. Both of them are the Hilton Lake Buena Vista. One of them has the word palace at the end of it.
I think the other one has some other word.
Yeah. So
but
we were
like
in the one that
apart.
We were in the one that was palace. A lot of our agents were taken from the airport to the other one. In fact, a lot of people, even some of the travel partners, ended up at the other one. And then they had to take an Uber or walk the 10th of a mile to get to where they're literally across the street from each other. But I think my favorite part of the conference was just being able to be surrounded by my colleagues. As somebody who was part of another host agency prior to getting in with KHM, there is a camaraderie like nothing I've ever really been a part of before, and there is zero competition between all of us agents. We all help each other. We all share information. We share ideas. I even shared a group cruise with Elisa, who's one of my colleagues, on the Margaritaville Islander. That was such a great experience. So the fact that everybody is so open, and we have some amazing people up near the top. You know, we're one of the top 100 agents at KHM Travel. We've been in the top 50 for a while, but there are people above us that are just like at such a level. But yet they'll just sit down and talk to you and answer, whatever questions you want to ask. They're happy to answer them. It's not, oh no, that's my trade secret. I'm not going to share that with you. We're all very open with each other because there's really no competition, because there's so much travel. I mean, it's like, what, a $10 billion industry, a $15 billion industry. There's so much travel to sell. There's no reason to be so protective. So I think that is my absolute favorite part. And the other thing, I talk about the Rising Star Award, and I talk about the Virgin Voyages Award. They also gave me, they introduced a new award just to recognize fellow agents for helping each other. And I actually got one of those. And I think that was so super cool to be recognized by my fellow colleagues, that a lot of the information that I share on Facebook or through calls or through videos or whatnot, in particular, like here's one of those big quote unquote trade secrets, how I operate the company, how I manage all of our travel from intake call until the time you guys come home. I actually have shared that entire workflow with our colleagues, including my famous wall. I have a big visual wall that has every trip that you guys have booked. is actually on a magnetic wall, and we keep it all in chronological order. So yes, we do everything by computer. Yes, we have a whole travel management system that runs on a computer. And then this is a visual representation of what's in the computer. So I can come in with my morning coffee and I can look at the wall and go, okay, these are the final payments that need to be made this week. Those are the trips going out today or going out this week. So that to me, I think was one of the coolest things that I got, that I was actually recognized by my colleagues for that, because it just feels good to help. It feels good to pay things forward and help other folks, especially with new colleagues coming in. So thank you guys. I see some of the comments down here. Who's joining on upcoming live streams? I'm working on getting more rivers. So for those of you watching Sunday morning, and maybe you're watching for the first time, on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I try to do I do a live stream from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. almost Eastern time, almost every Thursday night. And on that show, I try to have a travel partner join us. So we've had so many cruise lines. I'm so glad I got John DiOrio from Virgin Voyages on about a month ago, because he just left the company. He just resigned. We had a lovely dinner with him about 3 weeks ago. He surprised us and just called us, and we had dinner with him. And he did tell us about some personal things that were going on in his life. So it honestly doesn't really surprise me that he decided to resign. But that was a great show about 3 weeks ago. So I'm trying to get more river cruises to come on Thursday nights. And Regent Seven Seas is going to come on, I believe. So so we're working on Ponant and Paul Gagin, however you say their name. Those two cruise lines will be coming on soon. So and of course, a lot of your usual suspects. Royal Caribbean will be coming back on. I've never had Celebrity. I'm still working on Celebrity. Come on. So on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we don't do the show every single Thursday, but most Thursdays we will do it with a travel partner. If you've missed any of the previous shows, I would highly recommend go back and watch the Explorer Journey show with Kathy Liu. That was a good one. Virgin Voyages. We just did Crystal a week or two ago. That was a really good one, reintroducing the new Crystal. And if you have questions about Celebration Key, we just did a whole hour with Bentley on Celebration Key with Carnival like 2 weeks ago. So if you go to Where's Walter Travel on YouTube, you will find all these shows. They're all an hour long, and some great questions. Some great questions from the audience, and these are all live audience participation, just like this. So if you want to join in on them, most Thursday nights, and then some Thursday nights we'll just do just us. That's a great question, Bill's fan. Can I do a live stream with another personality such as Matt at Royal Caribbean Blog? I try to do them. I have done them. I've had Gary Bembridge. I've had Tom and Dom. I've had
Tony.
Tony had been on the show. In fact, Tony will be coming back on the show at some point. I try to do people that I know, but Matt is awesome over there at Royal Caribbean Blog. He is really, really good. So I do them from time to time. More often than not, it's not the Thursday night show. It's usually like a special Saturday show. Like Gary lives over in England, especially those who live in England. I usually do a Saturday show just because they can't do 8 p.m. Eastern time because it's, 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is over there.
I don't think that's any excuse.
Yeah, no excuse. Bill's fan, yes, absolutely. In fact, I've been trying to get Stephanie to come on, but Stephanie is so doggone busy. And we were actually gonna try to do a live stream from the Margaritaville ship while we were on there, but the upload, it just wasn't, the upload was not happy. So I didn't even try it because it just would have been ugly.
Fingers crossed for Star of the Seas.
Fingers crossed for Star of the Seas. Maybe Stephanie will finally be on a live stream with me, Star of the Seas, because she doesn't have anywhere to go. I mean, it's a big ship, but I will find her. I will track her down. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to be roomies. I can't wait. That's going to be so weird. Being roomies with somebody other than Rebecca. That's going to be so weird, but it's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. Stephanie looked up from her animation drawing. See, even while watching the show, she is working. She is an amazing woman. If you are going to Walt Disney World, if you are going on Disney Cruise Line ships, you are probably going to see her work. In fact, Stephanie, I wanted to ask you if your team did the work that we saw behind. Disney did a whole presentation at our awards at our conference, and there was this whole animation going on behind Mickey. Mickey came out. It's our 20th anniversary, and Disney presented something to the CEO of the company. Mickey personally came out to present it, and then they did this whole song, all this animation going on behind with the castle. And I was like, "Oh, I wonder if Steph did that." David would like to know more about celebrity river cruises. I think all of us would like to know more about the celebrity river cruises and how this is going to work. That was a big topic of conversation at the conference because Celebrity has announced 10 ships to start with. And they repeated that during a panel. We have 10 ships to start with. There's a lot of ships. There's a lot of ships on the rivers. I think Viking has 80 alone. So it's like, okay, they're going to come in with 10 ships, and where are they going to put them? Where are they going to go? It's going to be kind of interesting to see what Celebrity's going to try to do. And will that loyalty carry over? Now, they keep saying that, we want to extend that everything. So if you have, I don't know what the statuses are, diamond, platinum, I can't keep up with all of it. But if you have, let's say, quadruple platinum on Celebrity, will you step right into that with the rivers? Because the river ships can only take, 100 to 150 people. So it's very small. So if you get all these platinum people and all these diamond people from Celebrity Royal Caribbean stepping over to rivers, like nobody's going to be able to book a river cruise for a while because they're going to be filling them all up. So it will be very interesting to see. Yes, we absolutely love Stef. We love Stef so much. Steph, you're getting some love over on the YouTube side. Silver Librarian, thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. You know what? We talk about our travel partners from time to time, and Stephanie was our very first travel partner. And what I love is that everything that we did was organic. We didn't approach other people and go, hey, we'd love to be your travel partner. We were all sitting around the table just having a discussion, and it just kind of organically came up. What's really interesting is I used to be a spokesman for the Sean and Steph's Rampant Design Tools, a tool that they did for television production. I used to use their tool all the time, and I was a spokesman for them, and now she's a travel partner for us. So it's kind of neat how that all just kind of came full circle. But we're also partners with Tony and Jenny B over at Lido Loca, and then Peter over at Cruise RX. What's really cool about those partnerships, and people ask me all the time, how does that work? How it works is if you're referred by one of our travel partners, we tag you. We tag your name, and every single bit of travel that you book with us, whether it's a cruise, land tour, whatever, those travel partners get a portion of our commission. That's how it works. So we're supporting them, they're supporting us, and it's a long-term commitment. I don't believe in one-time referrals. I believe in if you help bring somebody to us, then you should get recognition for that as long as that client keeps booking with us. So that's how those travel partners work. Yeah. What are my thoughts on the Icon of the Seas? You've only been on Adventure of the Seas and Voyager of the Seas. So those are both the same ship, basically. They're both a Voyager class ship. By the way, Mariner of the Seas is probably my favorite Royal Caribbean ship. I love that particular class of ship. I think it's just big enough, right? It's got the Royal Promenade, it's got the ice skating rink, it's got the flow rider, it's got a lot of the things that Royal Caribbean is known for, without being super huge. The thing about the Icon, I actually like the Icon more than the Oasis class personally, because with the Oasis class, great class of ship, but there are dead ends. Now, I haven't been on the Utopia yet to see if they fixed some of those dead ends, but there's certain places like, well, you just can't get here from there. You've got to go down one or you got to go up one to get there. With Icon, they cleaned a lot of that up. Like one of my favorite features on it, just a small one, but on deck 6 above the promenade, you can walk all the way from one end to the other on both sides of the promenade versus having to go up and down. I like that Central Park is now connected to the promenade. There's actually a set of stairs that come down from the promenade, or from Central Park straight on down. The Pearl Cafe blows away anything that is on any other ship on Royal Caribbean. I mean, they have that cafe promenade, nothing at all like the Pearl Cafe. Absolutely gorgeous. And that overlook, which is the big bubble on the front of the ship, everybody said that's the Aqua Theater. It's actually the overlook. That whole thing is the overlook. Once you walk around the Aqua Theater and you see the overlook for the first time, it literally takes your breath away. It is the most beautiful place to relax at sea. And yes, you can relax at sea. It's actually a quiet spot. That whole glassed-in dome is a quiet spot, except when they're rehearsing, of course, in the Aquadome. But and then what they've done up there, I like the new Central Park. What I really love about the Central Park, I thought that was the perfect location for the infinity balconies. I like that everything is nice and clean rather than all the balconies sticking out into Central Park. There's a few way at the top that are still traditional, but the rest of them, and I like the shutters. I mean, it feels almost more like a little Mediterranean or Key West kind of a vibe out there. So I personally like the Icon more than the Oasis class, but of course you are going to be going on a much larger ship. I also love the connecting cabins. Instead of a door between the two cabins, if you've not seen the videos of this yet, the entry doors to the two connecting cabins are actually inset from the hallway, and then there's an outer door that closes to the hallway. So your rooms don't have this stupid door in the middle that you gotta like leave room for. You can just walk back and forth through the outer doorway. I thought that was absolutely fabulous. I didn't notice whether they did that with the interiors, but certainly with the balconies and things like that. So I did like that. So I think the Icon is a fabulous ship to go on. It's got some great. The other thing I liked about the Overlook was you had the Ryan Bean coffee bar and coffee shop right there. So that was really cool. Yeah. And I did like the new Aqua Theater, even though it's much smaller. I thought it was a very cool design. We didn't get to see a full show because it wasn't ready when we were on there, but we saw some things. It was really good. And like Stephanie is saying, the Wizard of Oz, amazing. One of the best parts of the Wizard of Oz has a 16-piece orchestra, which was a demand of the family. So, you got to get the rights to that. And it's not easy to get the rights to that. It is basically the movie in live action. They did a fabulous job with it. And when that orchestra starts to play, it took me right back to Broadway. I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in a Broadway theater. This sounds great because you can see the orchestra. And I think that was another important thing they did too. They put the orchestra right on the stage. You can see them, so they're playing live. Absolutely fabulous. So the Icon is an expensive ship, but it's also the newest and the greatest. And as of right now, it's a one of a kind. So until August, that ship is a one of a kind. And even when the new ones come out, it is going to be, there's very few of them. So you have to remember that you say Royal Caribbean's getting very expensive, but you have to pay for all of the things that are on the ship. So the ice skating rink, the Aqua Theater, the big crazy water park in the back, all of that's included, but you're paying for it. So if you don't want to pay for all of those things that Royal Caribbean is bringing to you, then yeah, definitely there's a lot of other cruise lines, a lot of other options out there.
Even a lot of other ships from Royal Caribbean that are going to be more cost effective.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go. Get that off of there. Get that out of there. Get that. There we go. Yay. Let me get that out. There we go. Good. Got it. Sorry. Yes, it is expensive. You haven't cruised on Royal since 1988. Everything is much more expensive since 19. In fact, the prices have definitely gone up since the pandemic. And of course, we all have to remember how much money they all lost during the pandemic. Now that everybody has come back and they're all starting to make all this money and everything, and now they're building new ships. But it is expensive, much more expensive to run cruise lines now. So, but yeah, I mean, the cool thing about cruising is there is cruise lines for everybody, and there's cruise lines for most every budget. I mean, we have been sending a lot of people have been requesting MSC. MSC is usually cheaper than Carnival. And I can put you in the yacht club on MSC, usually for the same price as, say, like a junior suite on Royal Caribbean, or even sometimes a balcony. I've sent people in a balcony for a week for under $1,000, 2 people on MSC. That's nuts. Or maybe right at $1,000 for a week. And, you have to accept that certain things are going to be a little different on there, right? And that's one of the things that we do when we book you on MSC or a cruise line that you've never sailed before. We try to set expectation. You got to have the right expectations going on to a ship, because if you don't, and you're expecting, like when you go on MSC, you cannot expect Carnival, you cannot expect Norwegian, you cannot expect Royal Caribbean. They are MSC. They do things their way. The entertainment is done a different way. The main dining room can be very up and down, but then again, that's true of just about every cruise line out there. The buffet, very repetitive, but they make amazing pizza. They actually have homemade burrata often out on the buffet, and they make killer coffee. It is the only buffet coffee that I will drink, and I actually enjoy their buffet coffee. It's like the only one of all the cruise lines. Well, Explorer, yes, but I was able to get cappuccinos on Explorer, so included. So, Diabetic saying he noticed the dead ends on Utopia, same as the Disney Wish. Now, Disney Wish and the Treasure, I'm hearing a lot about how it's just a lot of people do not like the flow of that ship. And I saw a video recently where Disney basically had a playbook that said just blow it up, even though we don't have to. Like if it ain't broke, fix it anyway. And I have heard a lot of things. Now, I desperately want to go on the Treasure because they've got the Haunted Mansion parlor and they've got the Periscope Lounge. I really want to see those two things. So I'm definitely going on the Treasure. That's not going to stop me. A weird flow is not going to stop me from going on there. But you do get used to it. Yeah. So Norma said they love the Utopia of the Seas. They were not able to use the hot tubs. It can be hard to get into some of those hot tubs, right? Because there's just so many people. I do like the new lime and coconut concept, though, because they've got that on. Lime and coconut is not new, but the way they kind of more set it up like adult pool area. I haven't seen it on the Utopia, but like on the Icon, the way they have it set up and the way they're going to have it set up on the Star, I like that it's kind of that adult vibe area now. That was kind of cool. So, yeah. Peggy agrees that the Wish is too chopped up. It's pretty, but it doesn't make sense. Yeah, there's a lot of flow issues that we've heard about where you just like, wait, I can't get there from here. I've got to go up, down, and around. That's always annoying when you can't just walk straight through. Every ship has it. Some ships have more. Good morning. Good morning, Barbara. Caleb, do I recommend the Allure of the Seas? So, yes. And in fact, the Allure of the Seas is currently sitting in dry dock right now for 42 days. 42 days. Royal Caribbean took that ship out of service. She is getting finally her amplification refurbishment. Now, she was supposed to go in like just as we were coming out of the pandemic. She was supposed to have gone in, but they held it back. So she's been needing her refurbishment for like 4 years now. So she's in there for 42 days getting a top to bottom refurbishment. So she's finally getting the Abyss slide on the back. And it sounds like what they did is, because there's a lot of things they're not telling us, it sounds like what they did, since it took this long to do it, they might be borrowing from the Icon, the Utopia. They might be doing some things that were not in the original plans, but since they've had this long to think about it, $100 million is being dropped on that ship right now for 42 days. So I would highly, if anybody wants to go on the Allure of the Seas, man, it's going to be a brand new ship in about a month when she comes out of dry dock. So I can't wait to see what all they do to it. It'll be interesting to see what they're borrowing from the Icon. Like Utopia definitely borrowed some things from the Icon on her. So it'll be interesting to see what more they're going to do with Allure coming out. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, it is amazing that you would take a flow that works so well. Like I love the Disney Dream and Disney Fantasy. We've been on the Fantasy. Oh, the flow is so nice, so easy to walk back and forth. They're beautiful ships.
It does get a little.
Rebecca gets confused all the time.
Well, yes, but it does get a little cramped back in that adult nightclub area.
I didn't like the adult nightclub area. Yeah, I thought what Disney did in the back of the Dream and the Fantasy, what they have like 4 or 5 bars and or nightclub back there that are adults only. I thought they could have done 3 bigger ones, rather than trying to chop it up so much. And especially there's like some areas that you walk through, it gets very confusing back there. But
does.
Still love the ship. Still love the ship. So.
It was a grand old time.
Yeah, it was a grand old time. So yeah. But yeah, the Allure of the Seas, you definitely want to go on the Allure of the Seas. Trust me, it is going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see what it's all about. I can't remember where she's coming back to. Where's she going to sail out of? I can't remember, but yeah, she's going to be amazing.
I think either Miami or Fort Lauderdale.
Barbara wants to know when is the MSC World America coming? I believe tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Next month, April.
Yeah, I think April.
I believe April. So if y'all have not sailed out of Miami recently, oh my God, that new terminal. I've never seen anything. Of course, the world has never seen anything like it. It's the largest cruise terminal in the world. But what's remarkable about it is there's a big section of it that everybody sees, big glass. But I think most people don't realize there is this 2-story glass bridge that just goes on and on and on. And I think what's going to happen is everybody's going to come into that main building, and I think you're going to be on one of 2 floors, depending on which ship you're boarding, because they can do 3 ships at a time docked there. And then I think there's a 2-floor walkway that goes all the way out. I hope they're going to have moving sidewalk, because that is a long walk with your luggage. Then you're going to go out, depending on what ship you're going out on, you're going to go out on one of the 2 walkways. So, oh my God, that thing is remarkable. We saw that in January. Sailing out of and sailing into Miami. It is spectacular. It's right in front of Royal Caribbean. That's kind of interesting. You're going to have like Icon, Oasis. You're going to have World America. They're probably going to dock. If they were smart, they would always position the World America so she's right in front of Royal Caribbean. So when you're on Royal Caribbean, you're looking right at it. So that would be pretty good. Do we do quotes for Royal Caribbean? Yes, we work with about 50 Ocean River and Expedition cruise lines, and Royal Caribbean is one of them. So yeah, we can certainly do that. You can reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com. Go to contact us. You can set up a call. We don't do any quotes without a call unless you're a repeat client, but a first-time client, we always do that intake call so we can gather some more information to make sure that we're getting you the best prices, because when we pull these quotes, we want to make sure that if you have loyalty, that your loyalty information is entered in, especially like MSC. You mentioned World America previously. MSC offers 5 and 10% discounts if you are a member. So we got to make sure we have that information. Plus, I want to get more information from you about, what you're looking for, what your likes are, things like that. So we always set up an intake call with a first-time client before we'll just do a quote. We don't just send quotes out. That's not how we operate. We like to say that, we're your travel partner, so we can't be your travel partner if we don't understand a little bit more about what your needs are, where you're coming from, things like that. So yeah, definitely send your info. And we are at 12 noon Eastern time. So we've got a call. Actually, our meetings start at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Speaking of calls, so I've got a call at 1 o'clock Eastern time. So we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to remind you folks that I'm Walter with Where's Walter Travel. Spacing out. I'm Walter with Where's Walter Travel in the Orlando area. If we can help you with land, luxury, cruise, or expedition, just reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com. Click on Contact Us, or wherever you're watching us, there's going to be links in the description. We've got a bunch of group cruises going out. We would love to have you join us on one of our group cruises. All the way through the end of 2026, we've got group cruises. So come join us on one of those. So you guys have an awesome rest of your Sunday, wherever you are in this amazing world. We may be on Thursday night, but we'll definitely be back next Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Sunday morning. I don't know. We're going to be back next weekend. Sunday, Saturday, one of those days. Well, we'll be back next Sunday. So thanks so much for tuning in. And if we can help you in any way, just reach out. Have an awesome Sunday, everybody.